Hey guys, I'm Alan, and we're going to talk about the BMW R18. This is, I don't know if you guys haven't seen it, it's a bike we call the Birdcage. We built as using a prototype engine and gearbox and driveline from what was the R18, the BMW R18 test mule. So I have only ridden the factory version, the bike that was released a year or two after this bike was built. An R18 one time, and it was in South Africa on a video slash photo shoot to release the bike. So a pre-release 2-week long shoot. It was something. So I didn't really get to properly ride the bike, to be honest. I did ride that test mule and I wasn't supposed to, sorry BMW. Just around the block here before I put it in the shop and took it apart. And then we did this with the motor. But today BMW has blessed us with an R18 that we're going to be doing some mild customization to, but we're also going to put it into our rental fleet. If you're not aware of our rental fleet, you go to our website, you can find our rental bikes. We rent out a good portion of our, not a good portion, but we rent out some motorcycles, some custom, some factory bikes that we've got, but things different than what you would get on a normal motorcycle rental website. And this bike will become part of that. Not this bike, but the one I'm about to show you. So I think they're outside unloading it. Let's go check it out. Cool. Oh, you know what? I just remembered another time I rode one of these. That Rolling Sands thing last summer where I did a disrespectful burnout. We might have footage of that, I don't know. Anyway, but I didn't really ride it out of the parking lot. I just did a burnout in the parking lot. So one of the things that's better about this motor, the production version, is that all the castings on the engine that we have on the Birdcage were what you call rough casting. Cast aluminum from a 3D model, and you can see the lines that almost look like wood grain on it. And so we had to sand down the finishes on the entire engine case. Now we did build a different engine cover. You can see our engine cover makes the engine look quite a bit taller, but at least this is more finished looking. It's nice. It's heavy. Did you ride it into the truck, Chase? You pushed it. She fired right up. Oh yeah, and I forgot, the speed modes are pretty cool. It's in rock mode. Someone knew that I was gonna ride it. There's like rock and there's roll and there's something else. Remember that from South Africa. Oh, there it is. Rock, rain, roll, that's it. So you got rain mode, a rock mode, which is go faster, and a roll mode, which is just cruise. It does all that. I'm gonna go get my helmet. Already, I've forgotten. This is a cruiser bike, man. This is no lightweight. It's so big. First gear. God, I forgot just how quick it is. Just torque for days. I mean, you're speeding instantly, even though it's so heavy. So yeah, displacement, 1.8 liters, 1800 cc's, is not kidding around. It is, God, I can't believe I forgot how torquey it is. To be honest, when we were filming in South Africa, I didn't get much a chance to like properly ride the damn thing because there was just back and forth with camera crews. I think at one point I got to go to 50. Of course, it was pre-production, so the seat was hard 3D printed plastic. There were parts on the bike that just were not done. It was not up to par, not a street legal bike at all. So we weren't really even supposed to be riding it other than the blocked off street points of the shoot, of this like 2-week shoot. And we'd go to different locations and shoot between blocked off roads, closed roads. And even now I'm only just cruising around the neighborhood on what is a very big highway machine. Oh man, it's just It's BMW smooth. What else can you say? Yeah, it's got a great sound and tons of torque, and in any gear. I mean, here, I'll go to top gear. I'm in top gear. So I'm in 5th gear, 6th gear, and I'm going 35 miles an hour, and it's still no hesitation, no jerk. It just pulls away like nothing. The appropriate gear would have been 2nd. Even then, it's just so torquey. The official bird of Austin is the crane. They're everywhere now. Construction in places I never thought would happen in Austin. This was all where I used to go test ride motorcycles back here, and there was no one back here. There were no buildings and no people. Now I gotta dodge 3 different construction trucks and 18-wheelers and dirt on the road and apartments. It's just nuts. Since we opened up the shop there in this location in 2010, 12 years of everyone in our way. Anyway, I love the bike. And what's not to love? It's a BMW. If you're gonna ride out for the weekend, you want to put some miles down, this is so much more comfortable than the version I rode in South Africa. The seat is just great, and the suspension is subtle and compliant, but also the damn thing handles so much better than you expect it to. I'm not riding it like a cruiser bike. Man, it's just so strong. Let's see here. Smell of a new motorcycle starting up and running. 3.1 miles on it now. It's such an honor to get to get on a brand new machine and cruise it around for its first real ride. Even though obviously I only went a few miles. So you'll notice right away that the side cover there is missing. It's just a cover. It looks the same as the one on this other side. And what it says on there is R18 first edition. So this is the first launch edition really of this bike. I was gonna say earlier that this is the first time we've gotten our chance to customize the BMW R18. And that's not entirely true, since we built one before the bike was ever launched. But it wasn't an R18, it was a test mule. I mean, you wouldn't believe the ugly stuff this thing had on to disguise it, so no one would know what it was. So to say it wasn't complete is putting it mildly. But I did get to ride it, and yeah, this feels very similar to that bike. It's just a lot better fit and finish. And I was just commenting about the seat. The seat that I rode on the bike in South Africa was really hard and 3D printed, and it wasn't nearly this comfortable. There's a slightly more like tricked up version. It was a bobber version, and what I found out later is that I thought I was just going to do this video shoot, but it turns out I'm on the cover of all their accessories magazines for the whole R18. So apparently I'm on all their literature. I had no idea that I was going to end up being the poster boy, because I am definitely not a model. Anyway, so this is Revival's R18. We're going to rent this bike out, but first we're going to toy with it a little bit. And what are we going to do? I really don't know yet. I'm not staging this conversation. I brought it out here to look at it and talk about what I think we could do to just tweak the way it looks a little bit. Well, I can say that the seat is so comfortable, I'm not so sure I'll change that. I'm definitely going to make we'll do custom upholstery on it. Maybe add a little more soft padding just in the top. And maybe keep the BMW emblem, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of these valve covers. They're kind of boring looking, and I bet you money, it's just a plastic cover that goes over. I bet you money they're almost designed that way to make you want to modify it. So that's a pretty broad side part of this bike. It gives you a chance to customize it. I think Roland Sands makes some stuff. I don't know if you heard of him, but he's all right. I'll also say that these mufflers kind of got, I mean, you either love those fishtail mufflers or you hate them. There are a lot of people that hated them, but obviously for us, we need to put custom exhaust on it. We want to hear it, and I want to see a little more of the bike. I'm looking for maybe a little more of a performance look to it. Not a huge fan of the giant turn signals and license plates, so we'll probably try to mount that down on the side somewhere, integrate it into an exhaust design so that it's down low. We can get away with that here in the States, or at least in Texas, and put some tiny turn signals on it so you can barely see them. Same with the front. You know, I don't mind the turn signals up high like this, but if I can reduce that frontal area and clean that up, I will. You know, I've never been a fan of these huge master cylinders in the clutch or the brake cylinder. They're just so big. I don't mean this bike specifically, but this whole cruiser market ends up with those giant things on there. It would be cool to replace those with some nice smaller Brembo units. I'm sure there's a reason these are so giant, but I bet money it has nothing to do with performance. It's more about the chrome look of it. I love the headlight. I love the single gauge. There's no reason to change that. Maybe we get a different cap for it. This is a little basic. It's just a really well outfitted bike from the factory. This is what I was saying, is should go on the other side. I guess they're gonna send us that cover. Somehow that got missed. Yeah, and then maybe some custom paint. So custom exhaust, custom paint, custom seat. Change the lighting up a bit. Some different mirrors. I don't hate these mirrors, but we can do better than that. And then valve covers. What, I guess that's a lot of stuff. It's not really a small amount of stuff, but I mean, everyone's favorite thing and my favorite thing is probably this. It's the 1.8 liters and the exposed drive shaft are really cool. We could also do some of the wheels. I don't know what. You know, as much as I love to put big, fat, I should say taller wheels. These are, what is this, a 15, 14? It's pretty small. What is that? I can't tell. I always forget. 16. So there's a 16-inch wheel on the back and a 19 on the front. It would look a lot sportier, if, to me anyway, if it had like a 18 on the back, 19 on the back. I'll have to look at the OD and see if we'd end up with the wrong, like you don't want the bike to be stanced, angled this way. We'll check it out, figure it out. So yeah, I think just a few mild changes could change the look of this bike quite a bit. I love that they made them all black to begin with, but I think a little bit of color could be in store for this bike. We'll look at that later. Maybe we go with one of the other classic BMW colors, like the gray, but then we'd have to do the frame too. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we put something cool here that says like Revival on it or something. Whatever, just a thought. I like the bike. I'm glad we have it. I'm glad it's gonna be enjoyed. Hopefully no one comes and rents it, borrows it, trashes it. Thanks BMW, we're stoked to have it and we're gonna enjoy riding it. Bye. Gearbox is a little tight. Now's the time of video where most people ask for money or donations or whatever. I'm not gonna ask you for that. What I'm gonna say to you is, if you wanna see more videos and you wanna learn more of what we've learned, and you wanna see a deep dive into a lot of these topics, go to our website and buy something. We sell everything from motorcycle gear, helmets, motorcycle parts, specialized tools. We sell lots of things, and they've all taken us years to figure out what the best stuff is, and we figured it out. So go to revivalcycles.com. There's some really good stuff there. Everything from like kick-ass hand grips from Posh to Radiance LED lighting and everything in between. We want to teach you what we know, but this stuff takes time and it takes real effort to make these videos and make them good for you guys. So go support us by helping yourself to the cool stuff you already need. And it helps us because we make a little bit of profit and then we can justify doing more videos. Thanks for your support.